Okay, so welcome everyone. It is July. Oh, no, it is August. It's August the 2nd, 2023. And we're going to do part 6 of the pubic chakra. So this is the law of intent. This is humility, the blessing and virtue of humility. And it's also the second dimension. And at the very end, we're going to tie in the root chakra, which is this law of sacred purpose and compassion and the first dimension, just to give us a little bit of a review, because these are the base chakras, really important to balance and release all fear from the base of our being, the base of the spine. So let's share the screen here. Set this all up. Okay, so there we go. There's part 6. This is our review. And we are learning to embody higher dimensional ways of being within the physical form. And that is why this physical form right here is magenta, because that is our mastery. So there we go. The pubic chakra, second dimension, humility, and the universal law of intent. The root chakra, which is right at the base of the spine, the first dimension, compassion, and the universal law of sacred purpose. Okay. And there we go. There's the whole system. And here we are. There's the pubic and there's the root. And humility and compassion are connected to both of them. And the pubic chakra, the law of intent, and the root chakra, the law of sacred purpose. And there's the second dimension. It's a communication chakra, creation chakra, and the first dimension connected to the void and idea of our original essence. Okay. So moving on, here we go. There's Lao Tzu, there's Sanat Kumara, there's Albert Einstein, and Mother Mary, because this is her system to help us with our ascension. This is how things work in the higher realms. Okay, so here is the red pubic chakra. This is the second chakra. There's the root there. This is the pubic. So it's this, the one above the root, connected to the adrenals and the kidneys. So this is the blue energy, the flow energy of a mother. Think of blood as blue, and the blue ray is the ray that the mother is connected to. And the spine. So the spine is like the framework of operations here. We're thinking universal law, and there's lots of golden words. So watch for the golden words. The reason why I've done lots of colors in all these slides is to remind us of the framework and the flow. The mother energy can be very still as well. So you'll often see that I've made the blue words in movement and very still. So this chakra is connected to the musical notes of C and D. And this is a chakra for creation of Nova Earth, cosmetic surgery and repair of the planet. It's a bridging chakra of communication connected to the internet, that two-dimensional space where we do a lot of communication. Now, is there any questions? Yes, Darren.
I just have a comment that, you know, that line there where you have spine alignment, that is very important for meditation. You have to have your spine aligned properly, you know, so it's totally vertical, you know, for your meditation to be effective.
Yeah, but also if they want us to be comfortable, the way that the Council of Love has described meditation is they also want us to be very comfortable. So if you're more comfortable lying down, that's okay too. But I do agree, spine sitting up straight, the energy can flow. That's a good idea, but also they have said be comfortable.
Yeah, I find that, you know, the more I sit, you know, upright properly, I become comfortable after a while. Now I can sit comfortably for 2 hours probably, you know, in a proper position.
Totally agree. I totally agree. I've witnessed that as well. Yes. Spine alignment, divine alignment. Okay. So now this is the second dimension. This information came from Albert Einstein. So, and he He actually came in about 2016 and explained all the dimensions to us. Fascinating information on my website called voiceoffreedom.ca if you want to look up all the dimensional information. So this second chakra, or pubic chakra, is a center for creation, of the cosmetic repair, the regeneration of Gaia, of Mother Earth, our center of communication for global healing. The second dimension is where we begin to communicate the idea of who we are into the physical realm. It is flat. It is not three-dimensional, but it is moving. So an example can be the internet. Yes, Ken.
See if I can, because I'm losing it.
Got your hand up, Ken.
I'm sorry?
You got your hand up.
Yeah, I know. I'm just trying to remember what I was going to say. It's gone.
Common affliction.
Okay. You can just jump in when you remember, just jump in.
Okay. I don't know.
Okay. Okay, so the qualities of the second dimension are compassion and humility, just like the first dimension. Surrender is another quality. So that's the inner work. That's when you just lie on your bed and surrender into understandings, knowing, listening, really deep listening. It's usually a surrender is a great idea if we're super confused about something. Just go lie down and just surrender and say, surrender. So that's the inner work. And then the outer work, cooperation. So outer connections, but then there's cooperation within too, because when we're in a state of cooperation, we're really willing to hear what the higher realms have to say. Our guides, the masters, the mighty archangels, the mother. When our body is cooperating, it makes a really big difference. So often we feel desperately lonely and isolated. We limit ourselves with separation anxiety. So the surrender and cooperation will eliminate that. Understanding the qualities of the second dimension of reconnection, our interconnectedness with all things, knowing that all energy is one. We can support each other without drama in cooperation and creation. So any projects that we're working on, that's quite integral for them to come into alignment. Just this is a little reminder at the bottom, the first dimensional reality of wholeness, of essence. So that's like the mother energy within us, of the spectacular ideas, self-love and self-worth of each individual upon the planet and far beyond. So that is a qualities of the first dimension. And just above, we looked at the qualities of the second dimension. So surrender and cooperation, and really into knowing who we truly are. So you can see how these two dimensions work with each other. You could surrender into the first dimension. And that's really the knowing of our wholeness, the reality of wholeness. So that's an interesting way of looking at the first and second dimension, the first and second chakras. And you can see that I've got wording going up the side here. It's just to remind ourselves we are divinely aligning with Gaia, with surrender, with gratitude, with a divine alignment, with creation, with joy, with forgiveness, with hope, with trust, with peace, really the divine qualities. And so it's there when we open to align, like open the crown chakra to align, they all come in the light. Yes, Ken.
Well, I was thinking about how compassion is tied into this, and how I don't know, it just, how do I want to say it? I feel very connected to compassion and to helping other people.
Absolutely. Yes. And often when we go in to help other people, we have to be in that state of non-judgment, because that's a big piece of the compassion, be able to be a really good listener. Steve knows that.
Steve, have you had people abuse you?
People, well, my dad,
Oh,
Yep.
your dad, I'm sorry. Yeah, I was
Yeah.
kind of making a joke. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to.
just him though, not my brother, not my mother.
Mhm.
So it wasn't bad. Some people have had it.
Yeah, and the reason why I was saying Steve has learned to listen, because he's found with listening, people will figure out what's going on within themselves. We don't really have to do anything.
If you let a person speak long enough, they'll lay everything on the table. And then they'll say, oh my God, I see it. It's right there. Oh, I got it, you know, and then they go home. That's it.
And so compassion is the ability to listen and not judge anything and not assume their cloak. Because if we're still holding on to stuff, you could be left with feeling, oh, and it's our stuff. So the more we clean up our stuff, then you can be a really good listener.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Mhm.
Or if you can't clean up your stuff, then just to be able to put it aside.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I love that the definition of compassion, and we'll get to it. It's like not assuming another's cloak. It's mastery. I think it's part of the reason why I can do so many readings in a day. Like I rarely take on anybody's stuff. So I don't know if I'm being protected, but it's been a work in progress. Mhm. Yeah.
I'm
Okay.
so isolated. I don't think I take on anybody's stuff at all.
Beautiful.
Very good.
That's the way.
I know, but what I mean it is, I'm not around a lot of other people. So, I mean, I suppose sometimes I get worried about that, but maybe it's just to help the universe rather than just individuals.
Hmm. Yeah, if it was your purpose to be out in the public, then no doubt you'd be out there. Even just going to fitness classes, to Tai Chi and grocery shopping, we're out in the public.
Oh, well, I do that, and yes, I do do a lot of sending love when I'm doing that stuff too.
Yeah, good, beautiful. And I
Yeah.
thank you all for that. I'm going to show you a picture of what happened the other day with Amelia. Yeah, Steve.
If it was your mission to be out in the world, you want to be out in the world. If you don't want to be out in the world, I don't want to be out in the world. I'm a researcher and a writer. I want to be right here, not my phone not ringing, Skype not ringing. And I want that, right? And lo and behold, turns out to be part of my mission.
Mhm. And that's very divine masculine. There's movement and stillness within the divine masculine, and there's movement and stillness within the divine feminine when we're embodying those. And I do notice that with myself. I love it being at home alone, no phone ringing, but I also like being out in the world. So I'm both. So yeah, and I think that's what we are. We're the movement and the stillness. Mhm. Yeah. Okay.
Well, that would be the balance, right?
Yeah, I guess. I mean, but I was told I am a doer, so that was a very big statement made by Archangel Michael to remind me to keep getting out there. Okay, so here we are. We are planting our feet in Gaia, deeply embedded in the heart of Gaia, a minimum of once a day, because we're on this journey with Gaia. And I have to say, this is a great thing to do. Drop our cord out of our root chakra, see ourselves going down through the layers of her directly to the heart of Gaia. And we give her our cord, we give our heart, and we remain firmly anchored in Gaia. And this is, I can't remember who said that, but that is how we remain fully anchored in the fifth dimension, in joy, the gratitude for ascension, intention, So doing that, it is actually connected to the fifth dimension of being in gratitude. So just know there's a council fire with Gaia. There's elders around it. It's very golden. So when we connect with her every day, it helps with our ascension process.
Doing this,
What's that?
what I've been doing is I noticed that send out compassion. One of the things that I do is make sure that I give compassion to, like try to shrink the garbage patch, and also do what I can to tamp down the forest fires and stuff like that. And so I guess I'm doing that, because
Yeah,
I do that before I do anything else.
beautiful. Yeah, see, that's very connected to Gaia. Yeah, excellent. Thank you for that. Wow. Okay. So we are one in gratitude and surrender. Surrender is the complete opening of our heart. What are we surrendering to? We are surrendering to our beloved sacred self, to gratitude for self, gratitude to Gaia too. Like, it's gratitude for everything, to our intent, humility, to our sacred purpose, compassion. And this was a method to surrender, to lie on our bed and say, I surrender, and I will hear, and I will allow. Surrender and let the voices come, or the understanding speaking to our heart come. So again, it's just a matter of connecting, really connecting to guides, to Gaia, to ourself, our higher selves. Okay. And this is so fascinating what Lao Tzu said, because he talks about our crystalline bodies and how our sense of the light, with our sense of the light, which is connected to gratitude, we are anchoring heaven on earth. And that's creating our crystalline bodies. So we're filling with light. So we're going from carbon-based to crystalline. And the light moves at the speed of love, transforming that carbon to crystalline. Carbon under pressure becomes diamond. The flow of energy through a physical form, particularly when it's hands-on, so they're talking about La Ho Chi healing there, but creates a flow of energy that is assisting the anchoring and the transformation of the crystalline body. So you can do hands-on healing with yourself. This is one of them. I showed you where you cross your arms over and put your shoulder. Yeah, that's right. Fingers together like that around your shoulders. That is anchoring and helping the transformation of the body from carbon to crystalline. And all we have to do is say yes to being a transmitter of divine quality, of unity with one, unity with all. It's an act of humility to be truly grateful. So all the divine qualities are changing, opening to the light, like opening to that light and allowing them to come within the physical form. We're literally changing the physical body. Yeah, it's pretty exciting. Never been done before.
Yeah, that's why we feel a few aches and pains here and there.
Yeah, there's that. Yeah. But I think the more we open, the less we'll feel them. Yeah, like Steve's been doing his what is it called, Steve?
Energy enhancement system.
Yeah, so that's really what Steve's doing. It's just opening to the what's possible. Yeah, it's so cool. Okay. Oh, and the other thing is we're becoming like lighthouses, so that when we do our sending love, it just goes out of us like that. So yeah, it's a beautiful thing. Okay. So this is the definition of humility: ability to be truly grateful for the many blessings bestowed upon each and all, knowledge that alone we are rather incompetent, but united with one, we are all. Humility is necessary for all works and sharing of service. Its color is red. And that vitality shared from Gaia. Okay, so any of the red energy from Gaia is helping us, giving us the energy to be in our physical forms, sending love, doing everything that we're doing. Okay, and it's really, I did this person lying in bed because we're practicing waking up, the Great Awakening, staying in that place of forgiveness of everything, in the golden gratitude for everything, that non-judgment for everything that's transpired. We played all the roles, hard to judge, and that's part of humility, not to be holier than thou and judge others. It's a practice because we've played all the roles. So how can we judge anybody? And to really get into the underlying old beliefs and sorrows and fears. Yes, Darren.
So, would you say the practice of being grateful, say having a gratitude journal or something like that, is a good way of generating humility?
Absolutely it is. Yes. And you can do it with a little app that, I'll show you the picture for the app later. You can do it in a journal. You can just wake up. I just wake up and I say thank you to my bed and to the roof over my head and to the food in my fridge. And yeah, everyone's good health and all kinds of things. Yeah, I just run through a list. And then it sets the day for a really nice day. Yes, Darren.
Yeah, I think a really good practice also is to be grateful for the food you have. Say your gratitude practice as you're eating your food.
Absolutely. Yep, I agree. And chew slowly. And yes. Yes. I mean, SK gave us that practice of being grateful for an individual, our water, and our food. So yeah, it's a great practice. Okay. So here we go. Humility is a true understanding. It's a privilege to be able to serve, truly an honor. Sense of humility is a unifying factor, not only for humanity, but for all beings, because it brings us into the balance of equality, none above, none below, all our brothers and sisters, each on a unique and yes, sometimes perilous journey. And Lao Tzu says it is to go at times into those perilous situations and diffuse them, because the peril is simply the creation of the human mind. I can't agree more with that. And we cannot have humility without compassion, because part of what humility is putting ourselves with others. Yes, Ken.
I'm not sure I understand that.
What's that?
You have your hand up, Ken.
I know, I'm trying to think. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. What I was, what you said about, oh God.
Humility?
Yeah, but there was something specific about, anyway.
The peril of the human mind, the
Peril.
creation. Yeah.
Yeah, that. What is that? I'm not sure I
Okay,
understand
well, I'll
that.
give you an example. Yeah, I'll give you an example of me being afraid for Amelia. That's
Okay,
a peril. But
gotcha.
what is it connected to? Me being abandoned, me feeling abandonment or feeling not protected, right? Because most of us have had those feelings when we're little, and we wanted to drop into these situations and have that happen. So we'd be working at bringing the physical form into divine alignment of gratitude, basically. Like if our situations with our parents have been perfectly loving and no trauma, it would be a very difficult journey, or different, not difficult, different. But because we've all experienced what doesn't work, we're concerned with bringing ourselves into balance. That makes sense? Yeah. Okay, so peril is just old triggers, old feelings, and it just wreaks havoc. Mhm. Okay. So with humility, we're putting ourselves with others, not only serving, but allowing ourselves to be served, and knowing the exchange of gifts and actions does not need to be of equal value. So that's when he did a healing on someone, that with the example of him giving a healing and then receiving tea back. And they were both happy with the gifts, but they weren't of equal value. Yeah. Mhm. So when our gifts in humility, in service, are accepted with gratitude, it makes everyone feel unified. It brings the vibration of love, and inside that, joy and gratitude is acceptance. So acceptance is part of humility as well. So it's when we're all being nice and kind to each other and allowing everyone's talents to shine and just being in gratitude for that. It's a big part of humility. And also when we can accept the possibility of love and our value, self-love and self-worth, our sense of the light, our anchoring heaven on earth. When that crack of the door is open, we are home. So it's almost like the more we are allowing ourselves to be in gratitude to the self for this very long journey and all the ups and downs, then we open more and more. And that's the surrender to self, basically, to being in gratitude for your higher self and all the work that's gone into this ascension. Not focusing on what doesn't work, letting that go. Yeah, easier said than done. Yeah. And the reason I did this green heart and then the gold heart in behind and the pinprick of light is because they talk about acceptance, but we, in all the meditations, have flown through the heart chakra into the golden chambers. So again, he's just talking about being that beautiful golden energy that's within our being. There's acceptance inside of us. Everybody has it. Yeah. Okay, so now we're moving on to the law of intent with SK. One of the intentions is to eliminate all fear. That's a big one. It's easier to do it when we're in gratitude for self. So there's the ray of gold. It's many colors. Rays are lightest to darkest. And they're saying we're in the home stretch. The first piece of the law of intent is, what were we planning before we came to Earth? What were we intending? And most of us were intending to be love. That's pretty much the blanket statement. And then the second piece is, what are we working on basically right now for ascension? Okay. And so there's the golden walls of our heart. This is what I have written there. All there is love and peace and joy. So I came with that intention to be that on earth. And right now I'm working on family peace, just to give you sort of an idea of a project. Okay. And then this is saying Sanat Kumara is teacher and holder of the law of one and of all. He says there is no creation that is meaningful in the sense of the universe or ourselves without intention. The law of intent is always in operation, whether we understand it or not. We've been given 13 laws that are pertinent to the advancement of humanity and our experience within the 12 realms and the 12 dimensions at this time. We did not come to this planet of Gaia during a time of shift and ascension to be unconscious. And I think what he's meaning by 12 realms and 12 dimensions, there's 12 classrooms within each dimension. So there's realms within the dimensions. There's 144 classrooms that we're going in and out of. We're learning to be multidimensional. And SK says it's time for us in our divinity and our wholeness to actively engage with the law in ways that are meaningful, not only to the collective, but to us. when we're operating in ways that are meaningful to us, when we are intending that which is a balance of love, of charity, of compassion for us. So that's bringing it to the self. Then it has the same reflection in the everyday. We are emanating that out. Yes, Ken.
It's charity. Did you hear me?
No, I didn't hear that.
Oh, what is charity?
Oh, charity is actually more compassion. It's a real celebration of non-judgment, but it's connected to the heart chakra. So where compassion's connected to the lower chakras and the hearts, and charity is very much connected to community in the heart chakra. So that emerald green of the heart chakra. And it's often, we often think of charity as giving to charity, but there's a huge expansion of that word as defined by the Council of Love. We'll get to it more when we get to the emerald chakra, but it's a celebration of compassion, basically. It's an expanded compassion. Yeah. It's really cool. And it's St. Francis that talks about it. Okay. And it's emerald green. The law of intent is kind, it is generous, it is sharing, it is joyous, it is tender, it is considerate, it's never selfish or arrogant, never excluding of others' well-being and development, for that would not be in alignment with the mother and with love. So this is really important when we're looking out at the world and you know, a bit of the chaos to again stand back and information gather, but really detach from the chaos. So intention is on every single level, our feelings, our emotional body. How are we holding, projecting, anchoring intention within our emotional body, within our mental body? There I've got the big anchor, anchoring in gratitude for self, for everything we've been through. Because when we're in no fear of our own past, then we don't project that out of us. So saying that we cannot anchor what we intend to bring forth, what the intention of our life is, our service, our pleasure, our joy, if we're holding contradictory thoughts. So this is how important it is to really know ourselves. Yes, Darren.
So that kind of gives us a checklist on how to form our intentions, because if we want to keep our intention in high vibration, I would think these are essential, these points here.
Absolutely. Yes. We really need to stay out of the contradictory thoughts. Okay, so there we are. This is paying attention to what are we really feeling and thinking, what's unconscious and subconscious. Because often it will come into play. Like I didn't even realize that I was so worried about my granddaughter, because it's taken me this long to recognize that it's in me. And then now that I've got that, and I've been invoking Archangel Michael for help with that, now that I've got that, I think she's even more protected because I'm not projecting it. Do you see that? See how it says projecting? Where did it say that? Projecting right here. How are we holding, projecting, anchoring intention within our emotional body and our mental body? So that's where the contradictory thoughts. So get really going into the past and just loving it and having empathy for ourselves, compassion for ourselves is as important as compassion out in the world. Okay, there we go. We really want to anchor in that gratitude, forgiveness, non-judgment of everything for our service, our pleasure, our joy. Okay. Yeah, Darren.
So how do you discover your subconscious thoughts and feelings?
If you're really triggered about something, then ask why. I was so triggered about my granddaughter, and I just thought, because of what I'm seeing out there, it has nothing to do with that. It's got to do with what I experienced. Mhm. So the more I can get into my past and get deeper and deeper into forgiveness of everything and gratitude, sometimes it's gratitude just for our courage to be here and experience it. And then also, then from that, it's an easy place to get to non-judgment of it. And then I can stand back like a tree and send really pure light to surround Amelia, because it's not going out as a projection of fear. It's going out as pure gratitude for being here. And I think you guys have been doing that, because wait until you see this picture. Oh, it's coming up. But anyways, so this is where Archangel Michael, I've been working with Michael a lot. I've been on my bed, flat out on my bed, on my back, going, help. Dispelling fear right now with laughter. And it took me a while to get to the laughter, because I didn't think it was funny at all. Now I'm finding it, when you can get to the feeling it's a bit funny, then you're getting there. So, and he says to literally take his sword. So I've taken his sword, I've invoked him, and then I guess I give it back to him, because he's cutting all the ties that bind me to the past and my fears. And then I'm also been invoking the law of intent, the sacred law of intent, that all fear, all limitations, so that's the separation anxiety, all feelings of inadequacy, I'm not good enough, I can't do this, eliminated right now. And that's what's been happening. But it takes, and if you find yourself burping, like I just burped right now, that's a release. Yawning is a big one. I've been yawning like crazy. That's connected to sorrow. Like I'll literally invoke the sacred law of intent and yawn like 3 huge yawns. I'm like, oh my God. Yeah. So, okay. So there's that. This is the picture that I've been posting a lot. So if you can get to the laughter, really great. If you can't at the beginning, because it just seems incredibly difficult, don't worry about the laughter. Just keep invoking. Yeah, Steve.
That is a really interesting picture of Michael,
Yes.
because when I saw him aboard ship and he was sitting in front of me, and he started to talk to me, he then began to rise from his seat.
Oh, nice.
And he was only the top half.
Wow.
There was no bottom half.
I love it.
He came up over top of me and it breathed love into me, and I woke up. But that picture, he's half a man there too.
Yeah,
Quite interesting.
it is, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
And I love that the purple is incorporated too, because that's our I am. That's like connected to Saint Germain. That's us knowing I am love. I am joy. I am peace. And he's just demonstrating it. And I think he's got his sword over here as well. I think that's his sword. And then I put the sword here just to remind you. I think when he says take the sword, his sword is truth. So when you take his sword and you literally bring it right in your physical form, because that's what I was doing etherically, you are aligning with truth. And what is truth? It's love. You can't have truth without love. They're like a double helix. So, and what is love? In love, the fear diminishes, because that's why we're here. We've had thousands and thousands and thousands of years of fear on the planet. We're here to remember not the higher realm way of being, where there is no fear. There is no, really to eliminate that within the physical form. Okay, Darren.
Yeah, I guess I must be cutting a few of those ties, because anytime I listen to the news now, I find it the best comedy show on TV. It's just hilarious.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. That's a good point. Okay, good. So this is me working with Michael. So I am forgiveness of everything. But remember, we're not here to forget because we don't want to recreate the past. And Michael has said that quite strongly. And he did say that to me today when I was making this. We're not to forget, and the mother too. We don't want to recreate the past. So we're not here to forget. We're just here for it not to have any charge. So we're not projecting it. And this is Albert. So often we feel desperately lonely and isolated. We limit ourselves with separation anxiety. It begins from those first experiences when we were young, and we wanted them to happen. We wanted to be born in these families that were dysfunctional so that we would do the work, because this is the most important work, the letting go. If it was all loving in our early years, we wouldn't be, I doubt that we would be doing this work. So that's a good way to bless yourself. Courage it has taken to be here and be in these situations many, 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 many times. So I asked Archangel Michael, cut all my ties to my fears of, my experiences. Abandonment was one of them. There was trapped. There was pain. There was lots. Yes, Ken.
What is blessing?
I can't. We didn't hear you.
Blessing. What's going on? So,
There we go. Just speak there from there. That's good.
what is
Yeah.
blessing? What
Bless,
is that? Yeah.
like when somebody blesses, like I am blessing.
Yeah.
So from my understanding, I am sending my way of doing it. When I'm blessing someone, I'm sending them gratitude for being present on the planet. I am sending them my understandings of forgiveness, how the Divine Mother blesses us all with her non-judgment. So that, to me, that's blessing, but I mean, other people have other ways of blessing. Yeah, Steve, how do you bless?
Well, it's interesting that you should mention this, Ken, because I was doing some work with this coming home on the bus from EES. I found that blessing was a good way of moving me from the negative side of the ledger to the positive side of the ledger. And I've been working on that a lot because in my upbringing, it was heavily leaning towards negative. We all had that. But for me, blessing is calling down the love of the divine to that person over there.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, or to self, you can bless yourself. Yeah. And when I bless someone, I'm sending them the understandings, because the understanding that the mother forgives everything is not really present on the planet because of the religious system. Some of them, there's a control of, we're saints or sinners, and it just, I don't know. It's been difficult with the religious systems. And many people, they don't understand, we're in a time of karmic dispensation. Everything is forgiven right now, including us, for all these lifetimes. And that's the non-judgment. That's that beautiful, a really high frequency of non-judgment. And Michael has said it so many times. They say it's impossible for them to judge, like in the readings, right, Steve? Like they can't.
Well, if we understood the way they feel, the love that they feel,
Yeah.
you can't judge feeling that love.
No.
It's very difficult. Well, it's impossible.
Yeah. So
What?
blessing is very much connected to that feeling of love and sending it to everyone.
Absolutely.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes, Ken.
So does forgiveness fit into this as far as
Can't hear you.
Okay, we're having a hard time hearing you. I don't know why. Maybe you just need to move closer. Yeah.
Is this better?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
That's
Can
great.
you hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I was just wondering where forgiveness fit into this, because obviously forgiveness is the first step to being uh, first step to blessing, isn't it? Am I
Uh,
right about that?
It can. You can bless with gratitude. You can bless with any of the divine qualities.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think there's a right or wrong way to do this. And often forgiveness is a very difficult one for people. So it's however you can just crack open that door to the heart, whether it's surrender, whether it's any of the divine qualities. Mhm.
I guess I was speaking about me, but yeah. Okay. I
Mm.
seem to be able to do better if I forgive.
Mhm. It is very powerful. Yeah. And it's connected to feeling peaceful. The more we are in forgiveness, that's why it's very blue. Archangel Michael is blue. He is here to anchor peace on earth. He wants us to be in the state of forgiveness of everything and understand karmic dispensation, because that would automatically create peace on earth if we all knew that. But often we think God is punishing, we're going to go to hell. It's so not true. Mhm. Anybody that's had a near-death experience, or most people, and they have felt the love of the other side, and they come back and they explain about it, cops will quit their jobs because they can't deal with the violence anymore.
Yep.
They've remembered how it truly is. It's, it is forgiveness of everything. It's love. Mhm.
Yeah, we don't go to hell. We are in hell right now.
Compared to being in love, yes.
Yes. Yeah. So that's why I say if you can anchor in waking up in a beautiful divine state, we're there, because it can carry throughout the whole day. But I used to wake up feeling uncomfortable and then not knowing what to do about it. But now it's with intention. I wake up and and it's so natural. It feels much more natural now. Mhm. But invoking, asking for help. Oh my gosh, just ask Archangel Michael or SK. It's, we can do it. Yes.
We're headed for a ring of love, ring of fire, wave of love, solar flash. There have been various names of it. I
Mhm.
think it's going to come at the end of the 10 days of disclosure. When it does come, that'll be a heart opening for everybody on the planet. And at that point, everyone will know the love of the higher dimensions. All kinds of people will be saying, oh, this is what it is. Oh, this is how we're going to do it. This is how we forgive. This is blah, 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 blah. The
Mhm.
minute you see that love, it becomes clear.
Mhm. But I think right now it's really important to practice, because we're not good with explaining when these things happen. This has been said it's going to happen for 20, 30 years, isn't it, Steve?
I don't know, maybe, could be. Well, it's been said it's going to happen. Yeah, Bain Saduno was talking about in the 1920s.
Yeah, exactly. My dad knew about the financial system coming into alignment, and he was born in the 30s. So
Wow.
he was holding the vision that was going to happen, and it didn't. So from my understanding, the more we are the boots on the ground. We are here to anchor in these divine states. Practice, practice, practice. It helps. It sends it out to the collective.
Yeah.
Us working on protecting Amelia, doing the work that we're doing around the family system that we're doing as a group. Wow, that's got to be powerful. So we just clean up ourselves inside, get rid of all the fears, and we work on that. That is going to go a long way to anchoring ascension on planet. You know, it's these individual groups working in circles and sending the love out, basically.
Yeah, yeah, I agree completely. Right
Okay.
on.
Yeah, so no, we're not waiting for anything. We're doing. I'm not sitting back trying to figure out how I'm going to explain the laws. I heard the go and we went. Yeah. Okay. So here we go. Yeah. So this is Sanat Kumara. He says you cannot anchor what you intend to bring forth, what the intention of your life is, your service, your pleasure, your joy, if we're holding contradictory thoughts. So this is how important it is to get in and get down underneath and figure out what's running. Because I've been doing this work for how long? I know how to do it. And look at how concerned I have been about my granddaughter. So all I needed to do was get in and get deeper and figure out why I was so triggered. And so, yeah, so now I am forgiveness, deeper forgiveness, because there's layers to this. We do the work, but there's always a bit more. So I am deeper forgiveness. I am deeper compassion. I am deeper gratitude, basically. Okay. And, oh, yes, Ken.
Well, I was just thinking about my father, and I think that one of the things that he tried to do is he was looking for me to help him with his forgiveness. It didn't come across that way. It was more like smothering, but now that I see it, I can see that what he really wanted was help with his forgiveness.
Absolutely. And you can do even more work, even though they passed over. They love to come and visit and have chats. Like my dad, he's here all the time. Like he goes to the reading rooms with me. I'm always asking him stuff. I'm asking him what it's like, and I get this woo feeling. He's having a great time on the other side. So yeah, you can ask for their help with stuff because they can see the bigger picture and they can see what we've still got running. They can come and give apologies. Like it's a pretty amazing way to connect with the other side. Okay. And so then again, this is the waking up in it. Yeah, Ken.
So it was more like he was drowning and I was supposed to save him or something along those lines, I think.
Oh, you mean later in his life?
No, I mean throughout his life. I mean, I think that he thought that he said I was a lot like him, but I don't think I was. I think the important thing that he really wanted was help with his forgiveness, and he looked to me to get it.
Right. Yeah, that makes sense because the children are holders of the light, basically. And I've noticed that about my own children, that they came in. I think it was Michael that said that they came in to help us align. Yeah. With their joy, with their laughter, with the way of being. Children are just so amazing. Yeah. No, yeah, I fully get that. Yeah, so there we are. So this is us really waking up and staying in that state of being, trying to, and if the old, like what I've noticed about practicing gratitude, practicing forgiveness, practicing compassion, it will drive up the old stuff that's underneath. And then it's us with conscious awareness, recognizing it and not pushing it away. So, oh, I can feel a tinge of fear. What is that? And asking questions about it. So it's becoming more and more conscious of what we're feeling. Okay. So the universal law of intent, intention is the beginning of creation. Formula, the collection of the creation codes embedded within intention is inspiration, imagination, an idea, the actions that are congruent, the behaviors, the heart's desires that are congruent. So creation, you probably heard the word creation codes or collecting exactly what it says there. Inspiration, imagination, ideas, actions, congruency, behaviors, heart's desires that are congruent. Again, it's bringing everything into this divine alignment within the physical form. Yeah, Darren.
So, are the creation codes formulated when you have your intent set?
Yeah, like it's funny how they they've explained them that you can just kind of pull them out of the air, the codes. So I believe yes, and always connected to the heart codes, connected to I like to come back to the tri-flame in the heart, because that in itself is a formula. And then the codes are what's embedded within intention. So yeah. Yeah. Okay. So here we go. Here's this app, and it's called Morning Gratitude Journal. The app is actually called that, but you can put what SK said was a good idea: intention for my day, my week, my behavior, what I choose to receive throughout the day, how I wish to interact with others, the inspiration I wish to receive. So this is with intent. These are ideas, they're imagination, and we are infusing them into our physical form, and the energy is invisible. So again, it's connected to love, joy, peace. It's connected to the tri-flame within the heart chakra. Contemplating that tri-flame, I've learned more doing that than anything else. Just sitting there and contemplating it. And that silver right in the base of the pink flame is truth. And truth is just knowing we're never alone. We're never separate from the other side. So that's a really good way to anchor in intention. And then this is a good one too, because if an idea comes to us and it doesn't bring us joy or excitement, it's not giving us that deep sense of deep fulfillment, then it's not part of our intent. So just align with the excitement. If you feel really excited about something, then that's generally connected to our intention, our sacred purpose. And sometimes there's, something will come up, but it was from the past or it's a future thing. So the main thing is just connect with self and ask if you're really excited about the idea. And then that will keep us in alignment with what we're here to do. And then, okay, so now we're going to have a quick look at this ruby red root chakra. So again, it's connected to the spine, to the adrenals and the kidneys. It's all about dissolving all fear, balancing the past, especially with mom and dad, siblings, family. Hope, forgiveness, compassion, joy, gratitude. So that's the root chakra. That's right below. And then here we are. Okay, so now this is compassion that we were talking about. It is the ability to love and serve without judgment, to be able to fully understand and heart feel another situation without entering or assuming that cloak. So it's being able to listen, but not take on what that person's going through. The understanding that another is a chosen path, and that we can only offer assistance and love. We cannot complete another's journey for them, for that would be theft, tenderness. Its colors are green and red. And then Lao Tzu says we cannot have humility without compassion. Part of what humility is putting ourselves with others. So this is where we're not assuming their cloaks, not only serving, but allowing ourselves to be served. Knowing the exchange of gifts, actions does not need to be of equal value. So it's important when we're out practicing our humility, our service, to be compassionate. So we're not taking on other people's energy. And then I found this about from Lord Maitreya. Without compassion, there can be no true understanding, genuine sense of unity. In compassion, there is an understanding of the significance, the glory, the importance of each person's journey and the value of that journey in the mosaic of the whole. So that's us really standing back and watching the news with no judgment, like Darren said. And if you can get to the point where you're giggling about it because, you know, it's belief systems, that's a great place to be. But just no judgment. That's where we need to get to for the world to change, for the ones that are acting, you know, slightly out of alignment to come into alignment. We need to clean up ourselves so we're not judging them. Because that's what holds the old systems in place. When we're sending out fear from our past without even knowing it. Okay. So, and no one, no group, no situation can spoil our state of being of peace and forgiveness and happiness when we know, are, and send compassion. So the Buddha says when we switch in the moment of feeling less than, in the moment of I'm tired, we switch and we say we're going to send compassion because this person, this group, this organization does not understand, then we are not judging them as the injurer, as the predator of our happiness. We send compassion, and then that compassion comes back at us. He says it works miraculously. So this is how powerful sending compassion can be, especially when we've cleaned up our own triggers. Okay, and this wrapping of magenta too can be very powerful. And that's our mastery. Okay. So this is compassion connected to the root chakra because it's our understanding of our wholeness, of our self-love and self-worth of each individual. So everybody came with originally with good intentions to this planet. And now we're remembering those good intentions, that love connected to this root chakra. Okay, so now this is me trying to figure out how the family law system fits in here. So I send compassion into the family law system. How does it balance knowing we are one, but I've got to get back to my root and really deeply know that. So that when I send it out, it's going and creating the oneness. Because family law, it's got a great name. That's what we're creating on the planet. One family, oneness. And this is so interesting because the original intent of human law, of fairness, of equality, of freedom to create was based on universal law. So then as a human, and we individually let go of all our fear, then the law system can balance. And there's no difference between healing and creation, the emerald green, the deep green, and the golden energy. And that's how the scales balance. There's no difference between the green and the gold, because the gold is the framework and the green is the oneness. I don't know if that makes sense. It took me a while to figure that one out, but and so when we wrap everything in the magenta, that's our mastery. Yeah, but it's the individual work that's so important, because that knowing our wholeness is what we're sending out into the systems. Without compassion, there can be no true understanding, genuine sense of unity. In compassion, there is an understanding of the significance, the glory, the importance of each person's journey, even if they're acting out of alignment, and the value of that journey in the mosaic of the whole. Because often we come into alignment when we see someone acting out of alignment. So there's a reason they have that journey to help us come into the center, because we can see, oh, that's not helping the whole. Okay, where's that in me? Bring it back, bring it back, bring it back. And it's funny because I said, what is the root of the matter? Because I'm trying to figure out what is the root problem with me and what I'm sending out. And matter is connected to the mother. So what is the root of the mother? The non-judgment. Her residing in the state of non-judgment of everything. That's where we want all of us to get to. And that's connected to the root chakra, the void, the mother. Okay. Any questions about that one? No. Okay. And the reason I put this here, this little human figure with the yellow and the blue, because we're both energies. We are the mother and we are the father inside. And when we're in that beautiful balance of peace and joy, the blue peace and the golden joy, it helps us fall into the compassion, the non-judgment. So that's the forgiveness of everything and the gratitude for everything. Yes, Steve.
I would think that it would be impossible to be in higher dimensional love and judge somebody.
Yeah.
Because if you were judging somebody, you've taken a one up position with them, right? And love won't tolerate that.
No.
They're not. You'll end up being in the judgment, and you won't be in the love.
Yeah. 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 So this is the mental step-by-step process to get to the feeling of love, basically.
Right.
Yeah. Forgiveness, gratitude for everyone, forgiveness of everyone, even the ones acting out of alignment, forgiveness, gratitude for them playing their roles, and then us falling into the non-judgment, which is love. So we are creating that feeling of love inside the physical form so we don't judge anymore. And so practicing being in the heart day in, day out, like that's basically our ascension. We won't need a ring of fire, Steve.
Yes, right. Well, ascension is a permanent and full heart opening.
Yeah.
That's what ascension is.
Yeah. So we're just
we won't
loving
be-
everybody. We're loving everyone. We're not judging anyone. And we don't have to die to get there. And so this is universal law, blessings and virtues, divine qualities, understanding the dimensions. This is a step-by-step to get there, basically. It's how things work in the higher realms to feel love and be love.
Yep.
Okay. So then this picture Jojo sent the other day, and look at the light coming down on Amelia, and it's the same formation as the one which was in her bathing suit. It's incredible. You guys are sending so much love. She's so protected. It's like she's got a house around her. It's fabulous. And she has a little turtle sticker here. She got stickers going to a birthday party, and a turtle is a symbol of the mother. And she's got the little turtle sticker there. So I put the turtle and the mother. And this is me getting to forgiving, no protection, abandonment in the past, so that I can understand the sending of compassion. Because I can't properly send. I can send, but it's not going to be as powerful as if I get into really deep forgiveness and gratitude for my past. So I am is a good way to do it. Saying I am forgiving, I am gratitude. Gratitude, I am gratitude for myself for understanding what it's like, for having that experience of, no protection. And I understood how important it was to get her out of the situation she was in, and from afar to create peace in the family, not to leave them in the circumstance. So I'm gratitude to myself for understanding that, because if I hadn't experienced it, I wouldn't have acted as fast. So there's lots of ways to get to gratitude for yourself, but it's finding them and then anchoring them in. So yeah, but this is so beautiful. This energy that's being sent to her. Thank you. Thank you. It's amazing. Okay. And then this, okay, so this is us. We're information gathering. This is the Buddha explaining attachment, detachment, and attachment connected to compassion. So we information gathered, and then you completely step back and detach. So this is like compassion. You step right back from the drama. We never wish to contribute to that. We become the silent, still observer, the compassion, and then we attach to the fulfillment of the person's journey, not making any judgments of it, and the vision and the rightness to hold that vision, the highest vision for them. So, but I feel like it's going to be a work in progress. Me standing back and watching, but also anchoring in family communication. So she remains protected. So there's prudence involved. You need to know when to step into situations and when to step back. Yeah.
I think there's also something else. I think that you're focusing on protecting Amelia, which is what you're supposed to do. But there's also having compassion for everybody else that's involved, including John.
Yes.
Because he wouldn't be here unless he had some things that he needed to work out and that he needed your help with.
Yes. Yes. So I have been sending as much energy as I sent to Amelia. I've been sending to his mother, his father, and himself. So I've been wrapping them in compassion and the magenta and invoking Archangel Michael for the release of all fear, and Sanat Kumara and the law of intention for the entire family. So my family, their family. And I'm hoping by the time the family meeting happens, there'll be really good communication.
And also to the law system.
Yes, absolutely. Into the law system. Yeah. Because we really want it just to, I'm not really sure what's going to happen with that. The focus is the highest vision of family peace for this family. And then that goes out to the family peace for the planet. And then the law system on its own, I think, comes into alignment. Because the more we're focused on family, then the people that are here to change the law system will step up. I don't know if that makes sense.
It does, but I think the important point is that people like to use the law system as a way to win, instead of just understanding that what it is a way to provide compassion and give and take.
Yeah. It really needs a big makeover. Yeah, so we'll see. Right now, the focus is a family piece, and then we'll see what happens after that. Yeah. Yes. And we can send the more energy of compassion that we send into the family law system, the people that really know how to change it can step up. It creates a space for them to open to their sacred purpose. Yeah. Okay. So this is, so then here we are, the universal law of sacred purpose. The universal laws are simply the laws of this universe, the understanding of how our universe works and operates. The basis of all universal law is love. So that beautiful feeling of love where everyone is forgiven, and everybody is seen, heard, in that state of gratitude for themselves and for others. There cannot be a universal law that does not have its foundation in love. That is the core and the substance of the multiverse of the omniverse. The law of purpose is the law that commands and requires and gives each of us the freedom to be in alignment with our sacred self, to be the embodiment of our sacred self. It is a law that when we choose to align and exercise the freedom to be the totality of who we are, to be the full expression of our divinity, and to embody that, then it is the law that the energy must follow this decision, this choice. Once we do this, once we invoke this law through intent, through the still point, bringing it forward through action, then we are commanding, demanding the law to allow us the freedom to do this. There is nothing small about any of us. We have been birthed from the heart of one. We are a mirror of the divine. I thought that was really beautiful, explaining the law of purpose. So you can, our energy, once we invoke it, then the energy must follow. So beautiful. Yeah. Okay. Oh, Darren.
Yeah, I had a question on the previous slide on detachment.
Okay.
So my question is detachment basically just stepping back and being an observer? Is that the essence of detachment?
Well, literally also, yes, but consciously letting go the drama. So it's us detaching from our past drama too. So really conscious of anything that we're holding on to.
Well, if we step back and be the observer, aren't we doing that then?
Yes, but sometimes there's greater understanding in the detachment, because it can be detachment from the belief systems as well that we didn't realize we were still holding on to.
Yeah.
So it is stepping back, but in that too, what are we actually stepping back from? What are we still holding on to that we're looking at this situation? Because it's, it's all energy, and like attracts like. So why are we looking at this situation? Why are we up close and personal? That's what I keep asking myself now. What am I still holding on to? That this is what happened. Okay. So yeah, and then so invoking compassion and the law of sacred purpose and the first dimension and humility. So we're in the state of gratitude for everything. And the second dimension, the communication factor, and the law of intention to really get deep and release all of our fear. You can see how it's all interconnected together. And quite simple too. It's not meant to be difficult. And so
It's
just
also really powerful.
yeah, it's very powerful, isn't it? Yeah. So, and just knowing that the root chakra is connected to the mother and to the blood in the physical form, the blood is blue, and to our spine, our divine alignment with universal law, with surrender, with creation, with joy, with self-worth, to the first dimension of ideas. That's the idea of who we truly are, to our sacred purpose, to our compassion, our non-judgment, that beautiful flow of love from the higher realms. And this is an amazing statement. There is not a law that is not of love, and therefore any thought, any action, every opinion that you have that is less than is not in accordance with universal law and not in accordance with the law of purpose. So there we go. That compassion is so connected, that non-judgment, very connected to the law of sacred purpose. I love it. It's an incredible system. It really is. Really anchors in how things work in the higher realms.
It's almost like solving a
Puzzle.
Rubik cube.
Yeah. It's like a puzzle, how it all fits together. And it all fits together and it's all interconnected. Okay, so that's that. And this is the next law is going to be, which will start on Friday. It's the law of balance. It's as within, so without, as above, so below. It follows from intent. it follows if we have the dream, it is in existence, then how do we begin to invoke this law to bring what we desire forward? And he says, keep going into the chambers of our hearts, into those golden chambers and sitting there, expand our intent, our law of purpose, and call on him. He says, call on him, and call it. Archangel Michael says, call on him. Be love, be incredible peace in celebration. So there we go. Yeah. And I can't stress enough how important it is to ask for help. It really is helpful. Yeah.
They are grateful for that as well.
Yes. Yeah, they are. Yeah, they are. It's funny because I was calling everybody in. Like I usually post the mighty ones and then I invoke, and then I heard don't, and I heard the word Ashira, like Ashira's watching over this. This is commander of UFOG. Yeah, he was like, you didn't want to be forgotten. I was like, oh, I'd never forget you. And then I have this funny story. I showed the fellow that runs the little shop where I do the readings. He is always asking me questions about the galactics. He's very galactic himself. And so I showed him the cloud spaceship picture that I took right outside my window. It looks like, it's amazing. It looks like a perfect spaceship. And he printed it out and put it in the reading room for me. So everyone that comes in sees my cloud spaceship. It's really cool. I love that he did that. So yeah. Yeah. So the galactics are very present. They're watching over everything. And you can ask them for help too. Like they really are good at, their healing chambers on board ship are amazing. Yeah, you can just keep asking for help. They love it because we often don't ask for enough help. And another I'm just hearing also, our guides want to be asked for help. They often feel very underemployed. So they want more work. Yeah. Okay. So is that all good? Yep. All right.
Well, all good.
Okay, so let me just come out. How do we come out? There we go. Come out. There we go. Okay, so I'll just sign off of the Zoom. Thank you everybody for watching. And yeah, we'll be on to the next law, which is the law of balance. Okay. Thank you, everybody.